the ability to move objects with the power of thought. Isn't this something we've all dreamed of at some point? This idea, which pushes the boundaries of the human mind, has been a topic of debate not just in science fiction, but also in real life. Today, I'll tell you about a woman who stood at the center of this mysterious ability, Nina Kulagina. Emerging from the depths of the Soviet Union and astonishing the world, her story reignites the question of whether the paranormal is real or not. Her name was associated with both scientific curiosity and controversy. But who was Kulagina, and did she truly possess supernatural powers? Nina Kulagina was born on July 30th, 1926, in Leningrad, modern-day St. Petersburg. She was born into an ordinary family, but her life would prove to be far from ordinary. During her youth, she faced the harsh realities of World War II. As a teenager, she served as a tank commander in the Soviet Army. This experience not only strengthened her physically and mentally, but also became a foundation for the claims of her paranormal abilities later in life. As a fearless tank commander on the battlefield, Kulagina claimed she possessed a mental strength that surpassed physical limits. However, at the time, no one knew that this young girl would become one of the most controversial figures of the Soviet Union in the future. After the war, she lived a quiet life as a housewife. However, this peaceful existence would be disrupted unexpectedly with the discovery of her paranormal abilities. In the late 1950s, Kulagina began noticing that small objects moved in her home. At first, she thought it was due to the wind or mere coincidence. Over time, however, she realized that these movements only occurred when she was present and intensely focused. One day, a matchbox on the table suddenly moved. Nina was astonished. Realizing that this phenomenon could be repeated marked a turning point in her life. By the 1960s, these occurrences were noticed by her family and close friends. Rumors quickly spread, attracting the attention of Soviet scientists. Kulagina was invited to Moscow, where she began demonstrating her abilities under the supervision of researchers. Kulagina participated in numerous experiments under the strict observation of Soviet scientists. These experiments aimed to determine whether her abilities were genuinely paranormal. In these sessions, she reportedly moved metal balls placed on a table without any physical contact, relying solely on intense concentration and effort. During the experiments, Kulagina's heart rate would spike to 240 beats per minute. Her body temperature would rise, and her hands would start trembling. This was a state no ordinary person could endure, even under extreme stress. But what did it mean? While some scientists argued that her abilities were indeed paranormal, others suggested they might be a form of trickery or optical illusion. Regardless, Kulagina became one of the most enigmatic figures of her time. One of Kulagina's most controversial claims was her ability to influence the biological processes of living organisms. In one experiment, she allegedly slowed down and even stopped the beating heart of a frog using her mental focus. This event shocked scientists. If a person could affect the biological processes of another living being with the power of thought, this would pose not only a scientific breakthrough, but also a significant ethical dilemma. These experiments fueled admiration from her supporters, while increasing skepticism among her detractors. However, the ethical concerns and the inability to replicate such results consistently raised questions among many researchers. Kulagina's abilities became a global sensation. However, especially among Western researchers, her methods were criticized as unscientific. In some videos, the movements of objects appeared unnaturally fast, leading to suspicions that strings or magnets were being used. In the Western world, many viewed Kulagina as a fraud, yet in the Soviet Union, she was presented as a symbol of talent and discovery. So what was the truth? Kulagina's life remains a story that blurs the lines between science and the paranormal. Her name continues to hold significance in questioning the limits of the human mind and the reality of supernatural powers. In conclusion, Nina Kulagina's story remains a mystery that challenges the boundaries of human understanding. Was it real, or was it a fabricated legend? The answer lies not only in scientific findings, but also in our beliefs.